A big win for the centre as the Supreme Court upheld the abrogation of Article 370 that had given constitutional autonomy to Jammu and Kashmir state for 70 years. More than 4 years after the centre's decision, the 5-judge Constitution bench upheld that J&K state had no element of sovereignty after its accession with the Union of India and that Article 370 was temporary and transitional in nature.
The court cannot sit and appeal over the decision of the President of India on whether the special circumstances which led to the arrangement under Article 370 have ceased to exist. Having concluded that the power under Article 370 Clause 3 subsisted even after the dissolution of the Constituent Assembly, we have held that the exercise of power by the President to issue CO 273 is a valid exercise of constitutional power.
Supreme Court has held that Jammu and Kashmir does not retain any element of sovereignty after it joined Union of India and Article 370 is a temporary provision. Supreme Court has further held that President can unilaterally issue order abrogating Article 370 that granted special status to Jammu and Kashmir without the concurrence of Union government nor state government, and Supreme Court has also said President can unilaterally issue a direction extending the Constitution of India to the territory of Jammu and Kashmir.
A batch of petitions had challenged the constitutional validity of scrapping of Article 370 and also the Reorganization Act by which J&K was downgraded and bifurcated into 2 union territories. While the court said that it doesn't feel it necessary to determine if the Reorganization Act was invalid, it has upheld the separate union territory for Ladakh. The court also directed the Election Commission to hold assembly elections before September next year. The court also directed the centre to restore J&K statehood as soon as possible.
We direct that steps shall be taken by the Election Commission of India to conduct elections to the Legislative Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir, constituted under Section 14 of the Reorganization Act by 30 September 2024.
Soon after the judgment, there were quick political reactions. Prime Minister Modi hailed the judgment as historic. But opposition parties in Kashmir, who had challenged the centre's move, expressed disappointment.
कांग्रेस, विपक्ष और विशेषकर कम्युनिस्ट भाइयों का हमेशा से हम पर आरोप था कि राजनीतिक बातें आप कर रहे हो। इस सारी चीजों को आज सर्वोच्च अदालत ने अमली जामा पहना दिया। न्यायालय ने माना कि जम्मू कश्मीर के पास कभी भी आंतरिक संप्रभुता नहीं थी।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आज का फैसला ये एक पड़ाव है, मुश्किल ही सही पर पड़ाव है, ये मंजिल नहीं है हमारी। इसको मंजिल समझने की गलती मत करो। हमारे मुखालफिन चाहते हैं कि हम उम्मीद छोड़ के दिल बर्दाश्ता होके शिकस्त को तस्लीम करें, पर ऐसा नहीं होना है।
The landmark judgment is a turning point in J&K's constitutional status as Supreme Court closed the chapter of Article 370. While the reactions of different political parties and leaders are on expected lines, some had already predicted the fate of Article 370 case. A day before the judgment, a former judge in Kashmir has written, "Everybody knew it was dead, but some people wanted a death certificate and I think they will get it."
After a delay of 4 years, there was a marathon regular hearing of 370 cases by the 5-judge bench for 16 days. The arguments concluded on September 5th. The judgment has come days before the retirement of one of the judges, Justice S.K. Kaul. In his judgment, Justice Kaul recommended setting up a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to investigate human rights violations by state and non-state actors in Jammu and Kashmir.
Then I've heard that I've taken note of the various factors such as Article 370's historical context in the text and subsequent practice to conclude that Article 370 was intended to be a temporary provision. As a corollary, there was a mechanism to bring the whole arrangement to an end. The effect of the power under Article 373, once exercised, would be that the article shall cease to be operative.
With the court setting a timeline for elections in Jammu and Kashmir and asking the government to restore statehood, all eyes are on the road ahead for J&K. Bureau Report, NDTV.